Everybody. Hi. Um, Episode 3 of Family Chantel. We're on third episode, I think. Yeah, third. There's three more to go. This is our last podcast before the holidays, so I want to make sure I tell everybody have an amazing Thanksgiving, happy holidays. Oh, Scott's here. What's up, Scott? We're definitely gonna talk about the Family Chantel tonight because it was crazy, right? I feel like there was a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving parts on this episode, so I want to get into that in depth. Hello, Rose, Robin. Hi, Robin Z. Hey, Judy. Where have you been? I haven't heard from you in a minute. DeeDee's here. Hey, Judy. How are you? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a hot minute. Hello, Rose. Chris Pix. Hello. I see Cara. Oh, you changed your name. Nurse ERG. Yeah, I know exactly who you
Hi,
are. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So this is gonna be our last podcast before Thanksgiving. So happy
Yes.
Thanksgiving, you guys.
Happy
I want
Thanksgiving, everyone.
everybody have an amazing Thanksgiving. I know this is gonna be trying for people like me. Family's not like my number one thing. So this is trying for me, having a lot of people in my house, touching things and dirtying things and trying to cook.
Yes.
It's trying for me. So I hope everybody gets through this and you're okay on the other side, because I'm really trying. So this episode, episode 3, we're halfway through the final chapter of the Family Chantel. So I wanted to, where do you guys want to start? Because I there's a lot of different topics I want to hit on. So where do you want to go? Like, I want to talk about Karaima. I want to talk about Alejandro. I want to talk about, there's a lot I want to hit on. So where y'all want to go?
Anywhere you want to start.
Yeah.
So this one.
Just go with it.
So I want to talk about the PI, right? Because that was, I thought, was going to be an interesting addition to the season. So the PI basically went back and looked into everything and determined everything that we already had determined just from watching the show. And I was a little disappointed in the results because I was like, people are paying for this information. And I was like, if you were just going to make an evaluation and an educated guess, we already knew that. Everything that he discussed, we already knew. Anyone without any type of training in private investigating could have figured that out. So I was like, I hope people don't really pay this guy, right, for his information. Because I was like, I will give him this. It's hard to investigate something that's over and done with, but it's still possible. The police have went into cold cases and they have investigated things that happened many, many years ago, and they still were able to get new information. And I feel like he didn't get any new information at all, right?
Yeah.
He just confirmed everything that we already knew.
Yeah.
I mean, confirmation is good too, right? Confirmation is good too, but I was hoping for new information.
I was a little.
Yeah, but me and Car is the only PIs you need.
Yeah. Why didn't they call us?
I mean,
Yeah.
anytime I need to know
Saves
something,
them a lot of money.
yeah, anytime I need to know something, I just shoot a text to you guys and I'm like, hey, what do y'all know about this? And then I wake up the next morning to like 14 texts of all the different things that you found out. So I don't really need to hire anybody. Like, if I really need to know, I know where to go.
I actually felt kind of bad for Winter because this was a special thing for her, getting this role, doing her hair, all that stuff. And then Karen brings it up there and just literally took all of Winter's fun away. That made me sad for her.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do feel like people overshadow what Winter has going on, because Winter went through her surgery and she looks amazing. She's stuck with it. She's lost so much weight.
Yeah.
And now she's going into modeling, which you guys know, before her surgery, her confidence level, she would have never done this, right? And I'm just really happy that she has gotten to the point where she is comfortable in her skin. She loves the way she looks. She's working hard. She wants to put herself out there. She wants to get into modeling. And then, like you said, it got completely overshadowed. We didn't even see.
She was there to get the wig and all that stuff. Chantel gets the pink wig, and that they never even, we saw Winter in the background with her. I thought her wig was amazing, But
With the rainbow colors, yeah, it's really pretty.
and she's
Yeah.
just in the background with it, but they were focused on, I mean, I realize it's the family Chantel and that's what it's about. But I felt like that clip should have been all about Winter and she should have been recognized. But Chantel put on the pink wig. It was all about her. And then Karen piped in about the PI and it was all about that. I felt so bad for Winter. I was just like, that's not even right. That's sad.
I agree, and it's interesting because she revealed to us earlier in the show's season progression that she always felt like Chantel made things about her. Do you remember way back in the day, Winter actually called Chantel a bee?
Yeah.
You remember this was back in the Ja days. Like we're going back a minute, but Winter finally, if they were actually doing a Christmas photo shoot, remember the Christmas sweater photo shoot, and Winter finally was like, you know what? You are always overshadowing me. You are always taking the spotlight. You never let me have anything. And she finally just let it all out. And I'm glad that she did because it seems like they've gotten really closer since then. And sometimes you do have to tell people, you know, like, look, you don't respect me. You don't care about my dreams. It's always about you. I'm a person too. You need to actually understand that I have goals and I have things going on. Your life isn't the only life happening right now. Like our lives are happening concurrently. You know, like you have to be understanding. So I do remember that happening, and I do remember she said basically what you said. She was like, I can't seem to get anybody's attention. Chantel is always the one who gets everybody's attention. Yeah. And I cannot imagine what that's like. You know, I did grow up with siblings, but I was the youngest. So I always got the attention. So I don't know what it was like for my brother and sister. I assume it wasn't fun, you know, having, and I'm much, much younger. So I can't imagine what that's like, having your parents focus so much on somebody else when you're too established people there. So I feel for her too. And I'm glad that Winter is taking strides to do things for herself, right? She's doing things on her own. She doesn't need Chantel. She doesn't need River. She doesn't need Kieran. She's doing things on her own. And I think that's good for Winter.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, it really is. She's grown a lot since she's let go of Jaw, and that Jaw, or how you pronounce his name, and she's had that surgery. She is doing so much better. So much better. She looks a lot better.
Yeah, she looks
and it's funny because the surgery, it's like half looks, but it's the other half is self-esteem, confidence. She just loves herself. Yeah. And it's funny because who would have thought the surgery did that much for so many different aspects of your life? But she really respects herself, because if you remember last season, she was out dating and she literally was being picky. She wanted to find the right guy. And you know, back when she was with Ja had a whole child she didn't even know about. She was just like, he loves me though, so I'm just gonna let it slide. I love how her confidence and her self-esteem is just so high, because that's priceless. You can't put a price on that. The surgery might have helped her physically, but mentally she has grown so much. She is so much more appreciative of herself. And that's what they say. You got to love yourself, and then other people will love you. And I feel like that's exactly what's happening with her. Hey, Hamza, how are you?
Hi, Hamza.
Hi, Hamza.
So what do you guys think about Alejandro reaching out to Karen and he wants to talk to her? Because
Alejandro just wants to be on TV. I ain't studying Alejandro. He's just like Lydia and Nicole, doing anything and everything possible to be on TV.
Yep, I agree.
Hands down.
Well, what new information do you think he could bring? Because he
Nothing
did have
we don't know.
He did have a relationship with Nicole, so maybe Nicole gave him information that they've never gotten before. Because at first I was like, he just wants to be on this season because it's the last season. You know, he could get back on TV. But I was like, well, he did date Nicole, and Nicole is very secretive of what she's doing and what her plans are, because we didn't even know she wasn't with Alejandro until she said it on the show. She's very secretive. So I was like, maybe he does have some information that could help the family get a better idea.
Yeah, but how much money is he going to charge to say anything? Because you know how Alejandro is. He's not going to do anything for free. He don't help nobody for free. What the hell?
You're right.
Also, if nobody ever noticed how terrible the editing is in any of these shows, we've all seen it, but you can so tell in this episode that Love in Paradise, Love in Paradise over the filming, because literally in one scene they flash back to the episode with Scott,
Yeah.
and Nicole had no braces on. And then they flash back to today, and she's got braces on. So
Yeah,
it was overlap.
I saw that. You're right. And it kind of looks like they filmed Family Chantel before Love in Paradise. Is that what it's looking like? Which is,
Yeah, kind of.
yeah, it's very confusing.
Or either
Because,
they filmed it at this, or either they filmed it around the same time. Because remember, whenever Love in Paradise first started, she had braces.
Yeah.
When they first started
yeah,
filming, and then towards the end, she had taken them off. So
Right.
yeah.
it's overlapped somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really weird because Scott met Lydia on Love in Paradise, so it's weird that it's concurrent, you know. But I mean, they have been talking for a year. I get it, but like, yeah, the way that and maybe TLC was like, hey, if you're already in the DR, we can film scenes for this show, and before you leave, we can film scenes for that
Yeah.
show. You know, maybe they did it. I have no clue, but it's very confusing because all the people who were tweeting the show were like, somebody explain to me how she has braces one day and then the next day she doesn't, and like, are they removable braces? People are like, what's going on? Like, why can I follow this?
There's no way in hell Scott flew back to the DR for round 3. He learned on round 1 and 2, so that all had to happen at the same time.
Yeah, I'm assuming that he never left. Or I think when he was originally on Love in Paradise, he was supposed to be there for 3 weeks. And I think him and Lydia broke up during the first week.
Yeah.
So I feel like this was probably the last few days that he was there. They filmed this meeting again.
Yeah.
Like, I have to see that. Like, I have to see how they did it. If somebody wants to spill the beans on how this was done, I would love to see like a timeline, right? Just the dates that they were actually in the DR.
Well,
so
if you notice, if you remember tonight, Scott did tell Lydia that he broke it off with Liz back in December.
Yes.
Right. He did say that. He did say it's been since December, but they didn't say what month it was currently.
No.
So it didn't really help me because I was like, it's the DR, so it always looks like summer. So I don't know what month we're in, right? Like, I don't know what month we're in. Oh, thank you. You can get that sign on Amazon, by the way, Jeffrey. It lights up, but I never turn it on because my big massive head usually hides it. But yeah, production must have paid Scott to date Lydia again, or vice versa, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know where to go with that because Lydia technically was like, oh, everybody deserves a second chance. I was like, he kind of brought his ex on the island with you, like, and probably in the same hotel, right? Like, probably in the same resort. Like, everybody deserves a second chance. I don't know if I fully agree with that statement. Some people do things and I don't want to forgive them, right? Like, some people do things and I'm just like, I don't really want to deal with you anymore. Like, we can coexist. If I see you, we're not going to physically fight, but we're not going to do anything else, you know?
Yeah. Well, obviously Lydia said he deserves a second chance because that's more airtime for her.
Well, yeah. And this is the last
every way possible to get that green card.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Hamza, you said that you will be back on TV soon.
Oh.
We're going to need to discuss that because I didn't know that. So yeah, we're going to message me. I would love to know what's going on. I haven't seen you in forever. And now you say interesting. And also I heard Mikey is in a relationship with someone from Colombia and he's going to be back on TV. So yeah, there's a lot going on right now. Did you guys see the picture he posted with her?
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently,
but you saw her face though. I wonder if it's his ex. Because
I have
going back and forth all the time.
Somebody DM'd me her actual account with her face and him not. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Like someone sent me her actual Instagram with their pictures and stuff on it. She's pretty. She's pretty.
Gotta see it.
Prettier than Jimena. I'm just gonna put it out there. Prettier. She's prettier than Jimena. But okay. So anyway, Alejandro. So we're gonna see Karen while they're in New York. We didn't get to see it last night, but she's gonna talk to Alejandro and try to get some information on Pedro because I guess it's her goal is to get him deported, which I feel like is going to be really hard because he's been here for 7 years. Like, I'm just going to be really, really honest. I feel like it's not going to be an easy task to get him deported. It's not like he just got here, right? Yeah. He's never been arrested. You know, like, it's going to be hard to have immigration revoke a green card for someone who's been here and hasn't gotten in trouble, and he's working. You know, there's a lot of positives going on. And yeah, he could have lied. He could have cheated. He could have scammed. But it's going to be really difficult to prove that.
Yeah.
Because we watched Danielle, again, with Muhammad try to prove it, and we all knew, anybody with eyes and ears and a brain knew that that man scammed her. But she couldn't prove to immigration enough that they would send him back. And he wasn't even here that long. Like, it wasn't even a year, and they still wouldn't send him back. So I really don't think Pedro has much to worry about in that department because, you know, actually, Larissa and Colt, everybody thought that Larissa was going to have to go back because she kept getting arrested before she got her green card. Still nothing. Still nothing. I feel like once they get here on a K-1 visa, it's really hard to get them kicked out unless they do something really heinous, right?
Yeah, I agree.
It's like they're safe, you know?
Yeah, and sometimes I even wonder, I mean, can you even get, I mean, will you even be able to get rid of them? I mean,
I don't think you can. I feel like once they get here and you get married and you activate that K-1 visa, I feel like it's very, very difficult. As far as I know, since we've been watching 90 Day Fiancé, I can't think of anyone who was actually deported if the relationship didn't work out.
I can't either.
I was thinking back on it and I was like, well, wait, I've been watching this for 10 years. It possibly has happened. And I'm thinking, and I'm like, no, I can name everybody who broke up within the first year, but I can't think of anyone who actually had to physically go back. I know some people went back because they wanted to, but nobody forced anybody to go back. So, and oh, you know what? Even Muhammad, that's true, Judy. We know that Muhammad came over and he had a whole nother girlfriend that he was actually moved in with, and Eve went out of her way to try to get him sent back, and he's still here.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that Pedro it's unfortunate because I know that he did lie to his wife. He did cheat on her and he did scam her, but I mean, in America, a lot of times husbands do that to their wives. Like, it's unfortunate, but it's become commonplace for men to lie, cheat, and scam women. And that's why I don't get mad when I see women doing it back. I'm like, why not? Well, who says that you can't beat them at their own game, right? If they've been doing this to women for years and years and years and lying and cheating and then leaving them high and dry, when a woman does it, like, good for her, right? Like, good for her. Like, you played him at his own game and you won. So if you get the house, keep that house. You earned it.
Yeah. It's sad though because she really did love him. I mean,
I mean, I feel bad. Yeah, you're right, because when she goes back, like when she saw the picture of him and Karaima, she started crying. And I was like, even after the divorce is finalized, you can see that this still hurt her. Because I was like, oh, you shouldn't care. You're
because all the skeletons are starting to come out of the closet, and now she's starting to realize that everyone around her was telling her the truth, but she was so blinded and so in love with him that she didn't want to believe it. And now she's seeing that everybody, I mean, even people that watch him on TV was even saying, look, he is cheating on you. He is a scammer. He is doing you wrong. And she stood behind him 100%. And then then this divorce starts, and now all the skeletons are starting to come out of the closet. And then you seen that he was cheating on her with that one lady. I told y'all he was cheating with her. I told you. I told you.
You know what? I thought it was Antonella. I thought it was the niece, but I was wrong.
I know you were cheating with Antonella as well, but because they made it very obvious. But his mentor, I knew they were cheating, or I thought they were cheating. I had a suspicion they were cheating, but they kept it more of a secret than him and Antoinette, or whatever her name is, Antonella, did. I mean, they made it obvious. So whenever the PI confirmed that they were having an affair, I was like, see, woman's intuition never lies.
How do you feel about the fact that she went and had a conversation with Chantel and telling her, like, if your husband was doing anything that I didn't approve of or that didn't respect marriage, I would say something. And then she's the person that he was doing.
Man,
I thought that was...
I wanted to knock that bitch out of her chair.
So it pissed me off because I feel like women... Because, okay, so I watch other shows too, like Basketball Wives and all these other shows. And I feel like women battle each other instead of battling the man. And I felt like what she did was so counterproductive to empowering and helping women. And it's putting us back hundreds of years, right? Because for a while they didn't let women vote. Women couldn't do this, couldn't do that. And it's like, if anyone needs to be supporting women, it's women. And the fact that she could sleep with this woman's husband and then sit there and look her in the face and be like, oh, well, I understand why you feel that way, but you don't have to worry about it when he's with me and she's the one.
Yeah.
That, like, it was just so betraying and evil. And it made me see her character as a human being, not just as a woman, just as a human being. She's an evil person.
Yeah.
To look somebody in the face that you're hurting, and then you're watching her cry because of you. The tears are coming because of what you're doing, and then you sit there and pat her on the back and say, I have your back. That's just so evil, right? Homewrecker, right? That's the word I was looking for. She's a homewrecker. That's what she is. She knew that they were married. I don't care if somebody's marriage is on the rocks. I don't care if somebody says they're separated. If they're still living together, you should steer clear of that situation, because you don't know. Or if Chantel is showing up trying to be a part of his work life and it looks like she's trying to make the marriage work, he's lying.
Yeah.
If he's telling you that their marriage is over, but she's still popping up around trying to be a part of his life, be the bigger person. Don't wreck homes, right? You know, and I get, because a lot of people are like, oh, well, if they don't want to be with each other, I didn't do anything wrong. Sometimes relationships are very, very fragile, in a very fragile state, and it could go left or right. And then you inserting yourself into that fragile area can destroy it. Like, the foundation can crumble, and they could have worked it out. But you being there, and it's like, why would you take a woman's husband? Because who's to say? Because this is exactly what happened to my mom, actually. My dad cheated on my mom with one of his coworkers. He was a police officer. She was a dispatcher. He cheated on my mom with a coworker. He left my mom, married the dispatcher, and the dispatcher, the woman who he cheated on my mom with, cheated on him with another coworker and left him for another coworker. And I was like, do you see the irony in that? She did the exact same thing that she did to you. So what makes this woman think that Pedro wouldn't do the same thing to her?
Cheater always a cheater. They never change.
Yep.
I don't care who it is. They never change. They may calm down for a little bit because they got caught, but once that door opens up again, they're going to go full force. I don't care who it is, man or woman.
I agree. You know what? Somebody explained it to me like with an animal. They said that you can take an animal out of the wild, you can train it, you can humanize the animal, you can have it live indoors, but every now and then that animal might see another animal and attack it. Yeah. And you're like, oh, well, no, my dog would never bite. It would never do that. They have that instinct. And I think what you're talking about with cheating, it's an instinct. I think with serial cheaters, it's how they're wired. It doesn't mean that they want to cheat. They want to go out and do something terrible. They're just wired that way. And when they're presented with the opportunity to do it, they're not wired to walk away. They're not wired to say no.
Yeah, it's almost like it's almost like it's their like a drug to them. It's like an adrenaline rush. You know, it's like they like to play Russian roulette, because that's literally what you're playing when you're cheating on your spouse. It's Russian roulette. Are you going to get caught? Are you not going to get caught? How long are you going to be able to do it? You know, it's like passing. I've seen with the Russian roulette with the guns. Like, how many times are you going to pass before you get hurt? You know what I'm saying? So,
and maybe that's the rush that cheaters like, the risk of everything could blow up in my face. I could get caught. She could find out. Somebody might find out. Maybe they're wired that way.
That's why people always say that, you know, when you're watching these shows, it'll be like people have sex in public, because it's the thrill of getting away with it, doing it where you're not supposed to, because you might get caught. All people have different reactions to adrenaline. Yeah. But like, if my husband needs to go cheat on me, he should jump off a cliff first and see if that's the adrenaline he's looking for.
Right? Exactly. Like, because that would be less painful than you catching him after the fact, right? That would be way less painful, because if he does it and gets away with it, and then you find out, then he's gonna wish he would have. Exactly.
I just became Lorena Bobbitt.
I seen a comment earlier where I can't remember who just asked, but if the families had never got involved, if they would still be together. I don't think so, because it was a scam from the beginning.
Yeah.
So wait.
So I don't know whether the families got involved or not. I don't think
it's ironic.
They would eventually wound up getting a divorce regardless, because it was a scam from the beginning.
It's ironic because I know that Lydia wanted him to be with an American, but Lydia fought him tooth and nail with Chantel. Did you know that? Like, how was she being counterproductive to her plan? Because
that was That was all for show. I'm going to pretend like I'm angry that you did exactly what I wanted you to do, because if she was all accepting, everybody would have been like, oh, the whole family's in on this shit.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So,
I mean,
Yeah.
because she didn't physically stop him from leaving, marrying her, living with her. You're right. She didn't physically do anything to make it not happen. She just really loudly voiced her disapproval.
yep.
So you're right. That doesn't.
Now all of a sudden she's interested in American men. American men are amazing. American men are hard workers. American men take care of their own.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Really?
movie she watching.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe some Tyler Perry ones. I don't know what movie she watching because I don't know a lot of those men. I don't.
I know.
My own
Please let us
dad.
know what
My
movie that
own
is.
dad. My own
Was
dad isn't one of those.
anybody else super sad to see that Scott took her to his room? I was super sad for Scott.
For Scott. Wait, before we get into that, I want to talk about this erectile dysfunction. So I was having a conversation with one of my friends after we watched it, and she said that even if she broke up with someone, it didn't work out, they hated each other, she would never say that about someone on TV that she once loved. How do you guys feel about like women saying, oh, he couldn't get it up, or the size of it, and they saying these things after the relationship ends? Is that fair game, or do you think that women shouldn't go?
Absolutely. If someone cheats on someone, put their ass on blast for everything they've ever done.
Really?
But
Yeah.
You cheat.
Let somebody cheat on me.
You cheat on me. The whole fucking world is gonna know all your dirty.
Oh wow! Okay.
Everybody will know. What is that? Everybody know your disability.
Oh,
yep, absolutely.
So there's no
everybody will know.
There's no HIPAA laws anymore. The HIPAA laws are out the window.
There
They're
is
just
no
gonna
law.
tell everybody.
You cheat on me, everything's fair game.
Everybody gonna know about your disability.
So, do you guys believe that there was no erectile dysfunction? He was just going and doing it with somebody else? Because that was the first thing that came to my mind. Because I was like, so wait, do younger men get that? But actually, I had a conversation with someone who's a practitioner, and they said, yeah, it doesn't matter your age. I didn't know that. Because I was like, there's no way that he was having issues. But they're like, no, it happens to everybody. Don't rule out people based on
He was
age.
just having too much sex, and he used that as an excuse.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If he was sleeping with the woman at work, because they were probably doing it at work. They work together.
2 women at work.
Well,
yeah.
Wait,
So
can we talk about the fact that these 2 women are related to each other?
Yeah, so he's with one and cheating on her with someone else while cheating on his wife with both of them.
Right.
What a piece of shit he is.
Wow.
He's
you have to drink energy drinks, right?
To the Dominican Republic and banging Karima.
Yeah.
Oh,
so they're talking about they've never been together. Whatever. Yep. I told y'all from the beginning. Him and Karima had something going on.
He said the answer to the question, have you ever hooked up with Karima? I read it, I rewound it, because he said, no, I've never hooked up with Karima. And then he said, since Chantel came around, I've never hooked up with Karima. And I was like, that means Chantel was not the first woman that you ever slept with, because you just said, since she came around, before her, you said you were celibate, right? Like, that was your story. But and he answered it at first the correct way. He said, I've never hooked up with her. And then he looked in the air, and then he was like, well, since Chantel came around, I never hooked up with her. And I was like, well, those are 2.
Every time he went to the Dominican Republic.
So
and
we all know that. They not telling for how many more women he was hooking up with.
Judy's comment here is so spot on. So him and these co-workers have to go check out these houses before they live. So they're in empty houses that it's not uncommon to see their cars because they're the realtor. So nobody's questioning anything. Nobody's suspecting anything. They're expected to be there. So he had this house for sale and was doing the one chick, and had this house for sale and was doing the other.
You're right. Because they stage the houses so there'll be a bed and a couch and a table. You are 100% right. And there's no hotel. You don't have to pay anything. This is just because they have to go there to stage the house and get it ready. So, and them riding in the car together, you're right. Nobody would have raised any eyebrow to that because you can't stage the house by yourself. You can't do it by yourself. It wouldn't make it. And that was his mentor.
Pedro was not no virgin when he met Chantel. I know that's what they're saying, but no way. He wasn't.
Well,
come on. No.
he was like 26 years old, right? Or 24 years old. That is really hard to believe that he was a virgin.
There's
And
no way.
I was
no
raised in
way.
a religious cult, and I wasn't a virgin in my 20s.
Yeah.
Like, and I was literally forbidden to like talk to girls on the phone or anything, and I still wasn't. So it's really, really hard for me to believe he was not with no other girl before Chantel. Maybe that's the story he wants to stick with. And I think Karima probably wasn't the first girl either. I feel like he's been active since he was in high school, probably. Like Pedro has not, I don't know. I think that he puts on this facade of being innocent and kind of simple. And I don't think he's either one. I don't think that he's simple. I think that he's a lot smarter than he puts on, because he ran this scam for 7 years, and outside of Miss Karen, a lot of people didn't know this.
Yep.
Like, he's not simple. He has a lot of intelligence. He just plays like he has no idea what he's talking about or what's going on around him, and I don't buy it. I feel like he knows what he's doing.
Yep.
George, your new name is Brandon. You weren't allowed to talk to girls. That went over my head, though. I get it.
Yeah, Mary and Brandon. You know how Brandon's not allowed to talk to girls? You grew up and you weren't allowed to talk to girls. You weren't supposed to be around girls.
I could talk to them like at school when there were like other teachers around, but like if they like I couldn't call them on the phone, or like if we wanted to study together, we had to go to the church to study. Like, it was bad, guys. Like, my upbringing was bad. I'm just being honest. It was bad. I couldn't do anything. My first time ice skating, I was like 17. And that was like group activities. They still didn't want us to do that.
Wow.
Like, it was hard. Yeah. I hated it. Like, honestly, when I turned 18, I turned into a little hellion. I was out. I think right after I turned 18, I went to a Halloween party, because I couldn't do Halloween because it was against our religion. And I dressed up as Jason. I was just acting. And like, that seems like nothing, but like, my family shunned me for that. Like, they were like, how dare you participate in that? And I was like, it's just fun, right? It's just fun. Like, okay, so let's talk about Scott and Lydia sleeping together in that hotel, right? So how do we feel about Lydia sleeping with Scott? And then we're going to go vice versa. Like, is this because she hasn't been with anybody in a long time, she's just ready to get some? Or like, what's going on with that?
Well, I think Lydia would sleep with anything that has 2 legs and a heartbeat if they showed interest.
I mean, she said that she hasn't been with anybody since her kids were young, and her kids are grown as hell.
I can't believe that. I cannot believe that. No.
She's so full of shit.
You don't believe, so you think she lying too, just like Pedro?
Yeah, 100%.
But she is a very insufferable person, though.
She is, but I'm sure there's a lot of Dominican men that hit it and quit it. They were just like, that was horrible.
You're right. You know, that's true.
Goggles are a very real thing in every country.
Yeah, you're right. In dark lighting and heavy alcohol, that is still an achievement to some men. You know what? You're 100% right. You're 100% right, because on a Saturday night, Friday night, pushing 1 or 2 a.m. and everybody's in that desperation feeling, you know, it's possible that she was somebody's last choice of the night. Last call. No, last call. They call it the last call. I think you're right. But it does seem weird that she has kids pushing 30 and she's saying that she hasn't been with anybody since. That's crazy to me.
She's so
right?
Shit. She's so full of shit.
They all full of crap.
What she meant to say is, I haven't been with an American man that would bring me to America since my kids' dad.
Wait, he wasn't American, was he? Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, but she's looking for an American man to bring her to America.
Oh, wow,
but
Judy.
I'm sure she's there whoring around.
Well, I mean, and so is Nicole, right? I feel like Nicole is too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know Nicole, but I definitely feel like she's not a virgin. Okay. No. Like, I'm just saying, no shade, no. Like, I think it's her body, her choice. But if she was to say she was a virgin, I wouldn't buy it. Like, I wouldn't.
No.
Oh, wow. Judy said cobwebs breaking out the dust. Jeez, Judy. Wow. Well, we don't know how much dust was really there, right? We don't know that. I feel like there's probably less.
Spiders ran. It's that bad. Even the spiders ran.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. So Scott and Lydia are, I don't want to say they're giving it another shot. They kind of just met up and hooked up. How long until you think it's over? Do you think after the fight with Pedro, it's gonna be over when done with, or you think that it's gonna like did it go on after filming? Because I was curious about that. I was like, do you think Scott really had something going on with cameras not around? You know?
It was over the next morning.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys notice that he gave the thumbs up when he got her in his room as though it was like a game to him?
Well, in Love in Paradise, he said something about if I was a betting man, I would say she'll be in my room by the end of the night.
Yeah.
Well,
And I think when he got her to go in, he was like, look, I did it. It was that easy.
Love in Paradise made it look like she didn't go in so they could film the family Chantel. And it was all that.
We all know that Scott was banging that the whole time during Love in Paradise.
Yeah.
We all know.
That is such a disturbing image in my mind.
Yeah.
But it's probably true. It's probably true, right? I feel like...
Probably. It is true. I don't think Scott can deny all he wants to. Lydia can deny all she wants to. They were banging, and they banged on up until I don't know how long, but they were banging. Her hand was being knocked up against that headboard. We all know.
3 more episodes before Scott is not under an NDA. We'll know the truth.
Scott gonna tell the truth? You think Scott gonna tell the truth?
I do.
No.
Scott will go
the truth.
Go live and tell it, but now Scott has a gag order on him right now. He can't say anything, and I know it's killing him too. Because Scott's not the type to
after the NDA, Scott ain't gonna tell the truth.
Yeah, the NDAs, and guys, the NDAs, depending on what show you're on, I've heard of them being up to $1 million in damages. I know some of them, like Love in Paradise, I think it's $50,000 for a violation. And that's just if they sue you or whatever. But some of the shows, like 90 Day Fiancé, the OG season, they can sue you for $1 million for an NDA violation. It's pretty serious. That could like ruin your life.
Yeah.
Right? Even worse than Danielle's life is already ruined. Like, it could ruin it even worse. Like, $1 million debt is bad. So these people, when they're loosely speaking, they're risking it all. Right? Like, they're risking it all. Like, I want to say April Carter went on her live and started just recklessly speaking about things. And I was like, she might have the 50K, but still, what do you want to make a donation to Sharp Entertainment? Like, I would just wait until my NDA is up. Like, I'm not making any $50,000 donations to nobody. Right?
Scott will tell us the truth. I guarantee.
No,
he's
Scott ain't gonna tell the truth, and I know he's on here. Scott ain't gonna tell the truth.
Why
I don't care what he says. Scott is not gonna tell the truth.
Hold on, I want to know why you think Scott won't tell the truth. What does he?
Scott will not tell the truth.
Wait, what does he have to lie about though?
That's all I'm saying. Scott's not gonna tell the truth.
He's either gonna say he slept with her or he didn't. He'll tell us if
we all know he banged her the whole time. We all know he did.
Oh yeah.
He'll tell us if the filming was overlapped. He'll tell us how good it felt to hit Pedro because man, he hit him for all of us.
Yeah.
I need to know.
So apparently Nicole sent somebody to follow Scott around. I'm assuming while he was in the DR, because I can't imagine while he was in the US. And there was videos.
It was the US and it was Alejandro.
But Alejandro,
Scott was in New York.
Yeah. You're right. So I'm assuming, you're right. Alejandro had videos of something that Scott did, and that is why Pedro went there with a chip on his shoulder to confront Scott, because I'm assuming during that time Scott was in communication with his mom.
Yeah.
With Pedro's mom. So he was confronting him, but I think Pedro bit off a little more than he could chew because he was trying to intimidate Scott. And Scott is it's a big guy, right? Like, and I'm not talking fat. I'm just talking big, like WWE big. Like, Scott's a big guy. So Scott was like,
Pedro couldn't intimidate a freaking. Pedro's not intimidating.
No,
man, I would like to throw down with Pedro.
Me too.
Yeah.
Tell Pedro I'll challenge him.
Me too.
Challenge him.
I will challenge him. I live a couple of hours south of him. I will go to Atlanta where he's at and challenge him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, tell me when so I can watch. I want a front row seat.
Yeah.
I would like to see it.
Oh, well.
So next week we're going to see Scott get into this altercation with Pedro. Oh, and Chantel is going on a date. Oh, Karima's engaged. I don't know if I touched on that. Karima's engaged.
Awesome.
But Pedro
she's not engaged. It's out. So she's engaged. and now she's going to break up her engagement to be with Pedro. I mean, because it's already out. They're dating. They're in a relationship.
They are.
Come on.
I haven't seen them together other than that one time. So they are?
They're dating.
Huh.
I don't know. I thought it was awesome that she shot him down.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm okay.
I wonder how much money they had to pay her to shoot her down. I mean, to shoot him down. I'm sorry. But
Pedro made it very clear that there was something there between them.
Yeah.
And that's why kind of what pissed Chantel off, because he always was like, "Nah, it's just my friend. We went to school together, blah, blah, blah." But then after he found out she was engaged, he's like, "Oh well, there was something there, but you know, I missed out." So
Yeah.
he was a lot of the things that he was lying about, he actually is coming clean now.
Yeah.
Because
make this make sense. Make this make sense. All right, the dumb wacko Karama, the little Sora is what we call them in Spanish. All right, she's engaged, right? Okay, but she goes and she meets Pedro. Okay, if you're engaged and you're going to meet your ex, we already know Dominican Republic men don't even like their women to even have anything to do with another man.
Yeah, but it's
their ex. Okay, so why didn't she take her fiance?
because she wanted that $1,000 paycheck.
She
I mean,
probably went to the dollar store and bought that ring. Come on.
I did say you would lead with that, because they were being really flirty and chatty, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm engaged." I'm like, you would lead with that. Like, if you were my fiance and I'm watching this, the way that you were interacting with him before you decided to tell him, I wouldn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then she called him mi amor, which means my love. I mean, come on.
I definitely think
take a rocket scientist.
Yeah, I definitely think Karima's been trying to get with him this whole time. We saw the way that she was dancing on him when he was married.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know. It wasn't a secret that he was married. She was fully aware he was married, and she was climbing on him like he was a sycamore tree.
Yeah.
Like, she had no issue with the fact that he was married. So even if she is engaged, she probably doesn't have an issue with that either. If she want to get with Pedro, she gonna get with Pedro regardless, because that's just kind of the picture that she painted of herself.
That's
when he was married.
Chris picks
yeah, that's what we were going to talk about. The one that supposedly looks like Chantel. That girl don't look like Chantel.
I thought
saw
as soon as she walked in, I was like, "This is a joke," because she looked like Chantel from a distance.
Yeah, I saw the resemblance. Chantel is prettier, but I saw the resemblance, and 100% this was production. Production probably put out a casting call for people who look like her. There's no way that Nicole's friend happens to look like Chantel. There's no chance. I was like, production is really reaching at this point. I was like, they probably put out a casting call in the Dominican Republic and put a picture of Chantel and said, looking for lookalikes.
Yep.
That has to be what they did. Because I was like, even if I would believe half of this, there's no chance that Nicole would want to be friends with somebody that she hates.
Yeah.
And that girl is Chantel's twin. They literally are twins.
And
right?
The reason that Chantel, or the reason Nicole hates Chantel, is because Chantel is so much more beautiful than anything Nicole could ever be. So she's not going to be friends with someone like that. No way.
Nah, it's
all you do is see competition. That's all she'll be seeing is competition with someone that looks like Chantel. And that's the sad part. They always seen Chantel and Chantel's family as competition. Why?
I don't know. I didn't understand that either. There was no threat. And I feel like if Nicole and Lydia tried a little harder, they could have all got along, but they didn't want to get along with them.
Because that wasn't part of the plan.
Yeah, they wanted them to be their enemy. Because it's like they made sure there was no relationship between them. They went out of their way. Because, there's people who, a lot of people I know, they hate their in-laws. They hate their spouse's brother or sister, whatever. They go out of their way to make shit awkward. That's what they did. They made stuff awkward that didn't have to be awkward. There's people who put on their best clothes and act their best behavior around people that they hate. It's part of being an adult. You're not going to be best friends, but you also don't want to throw like a wine bottle at their head. Remember that last season, Nicole launched the wine bottle at Chantel's head? Like, that's extra. Like, you can hate me, but don't hit me in the head with a wine bottle. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, Chantel is going
And
on.
at the end of the day, it's because of Chantel that they are even where they are today.
Well,
Like, seriously.
Chantel said it on this episode. She's like, you owe me an apology and a thank you.
Yeah.
And he does. He owes her an apology and a thank you because she went out of her way to make his life and his mom's life and his sister's life, hell, and Alejandro's life. All of this is through the hand of Chantel, right? Like, she had a hand in everybody's life changing. And I don't care how you feel about her. She could have easily turned him down and none of this would have happened for them.
Yeah.
So you just have to, all of this rooted from Chantel giving him a chance and them starting a relationship. And even though it ended, we were talking about this last night, just because a relationship ended doesn't mean that you get to devalue the time that she gave you or the things that, the benefits that she gave you in your life. You don't get to devalue that. That's still something that she put in. So, she's going on a date with a guy named Scott who's, looks white to me. What's up with that? Chantel dating white guys now?
Yeah.
Did y'all see that?
And that's going to be.
Did you see the look that she gave him?
Yeah, that's the look I gave her. I was like, you dating white guys now, Chantel? What is this?
Yep.
I don't see that for her.
She's got Drake in her DMs. She's got NFL players in her DMs. She's got all this shit. Whoever this.
Yes, Drake, knows WGQ. Yes, Drake is, yeah. Drake is actually being her. Yeah.
Waka Flocka.
She's got all these guys, Waka Flocka, Drake, NFL players, all this shit. And her friends thought it would be a good idea to set her up with Pee Wee Herman. What the? No way. No way. It's never going to.
I don't know what the situation is with that. Oh, so they said, did Drake actually DM her? So the story that I was told was he liked a post that 90 Day Fiance posted about her. And then I think after he liked that post, he went to her page and liked a post on her page. That's the story. I've never heard of a DM.
They said on the show that he DM'd her. Even Pedro said it.
Well, yeah, I've never seen a screenshot of the DM.
Well, I mean, probably because she's classy and she wasn't like, look who's DMing me.
I mean,
I wouldn't. I'd be like,
yeah, and then Pedro talking about she can go with the famous rapper Drake. Let her just go on. Pedro, I'm sorry, but you need to sit your little punk ass down somewhere.
Well, as though he was any competition for Drake, right? Like,
right, seriously.
Honestly, like, if I was married and Drake approached my wife, I'm gonna be like, well, my wife now belongs to Drake. Like, do I have any right? What am I gonna do to convince her to stay with me and not go with Drake? Right? Like, I'll be like, all right, let me help you pack your stuff.
Credit cards, George.
Right? Like, I don't even know what I would even be able to do to have a defense.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, oh, well, Drake just said he wants to move me in his house. I'm like, you got a room for me? Because I guess we're both going, right? Like, I guess we're both going. Because I was like, I can't tell you not to do that, but can I get a room in the house too? Like, what am I going to say?
I mean,
you better be getting out them credit cards with them non-limit on it.
If you got Drake standing here looking at you and you got Pedro standing here looking at you, I mean, come on.
Down. Come on. There's no competition there.
No.
Come on.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
All right. So we're going to talk about, oh, wait, this is the last one until next week. So this is it. And everybody is going to be taking a break for Thanksgiving, obviously. So we'll be back next week. I don't think any other shows are taking a break for Thanksgiving. I know like a year or two ago, everything took a week off for Thanksgiving. I don't think they are this week.
Okay.
So we'll be back on Sunday to talk about the OG 90 Day Fiance episode 8, then The Other Way episode 21. and then on Monday we'll be back for the Family Chantel. Is that right? No, on Tuesday the Family Chantel. Yeah. And then there's 3 more episodes after the one that we just saw, and then that's the final.
No, Judy, The Other Way is never going to be over. We're already 20 weeks into this hell.
Yes.
Never
next week is 21, and it's not the finale. I'll put it like that. It's not the finale, and then there's going to be a
They're
2-part.
torturing us. torturing us.
Someone said that it's gonna last all the way to Christmas. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true, but I know there's a 2-part tell-all, and then next week is not the finale, so there's probably 2 more episodes. So yeah, that would be Christmas. That's 4 weeks. Yeah, they said it's our Christmas present from TLC. We're gonna be subjected to another month of The Other Way. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's wrapped. It's in a bow. Nobody asked for it, but this is what we're getting. This is the gag.
Which is also equivalent to coal in your freaking stocking.
What?
Which is also equivalent to coal in your freaking stocking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. This is you opening coal on Christmas morning. You're all excited. You're happy. It's shaped in like the size of a Christian Louboutin shoe or a purse, whatever women want to open on Christmas. And then when you open it, it's just a bunch of coal. It's some of Holly's hair.
It's not even good coal. It's like charcoal.
Judy, we will last through this, okay? Together, we will last.
We're going to try. We're going to try to last.
Wait, Michael and Angela? Oh, I don't know, Judy, I don't know what to say about it. She's in Nigeria right now.
They were doing the live earlier, but they weren't on the live together. They were on a live separate.
Interesting. So she's not in
her bodyguard on the live as well.
That's weird.
Also, everybody on here, you need to hop over and follow George and DeeDee on TikTok so they can reach 1,000 followers so we can go live on there too.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm late to the party. I neglected my TikTok and now we can't go live because I want to start going live on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok simultaneously for the podcast, but I don't have enough followers. So if anybody has a TikTok and you don't mind following me and DeeDee, please, because we need to get 1,000 followers, and for some reason it's not easy. Like I probably should have got on the TikTok train 2 years ago when everybody else did, but I didn't. So now I'm late to the party.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's my fault. I take full responsibility.
The only reason I have over 1,000 followers is because my cat went viral, not because I did anything cool.
Wait, your cat went viral?
Yeah, because he's ridiculous. But yeah.
Cool.
But it's just because of my cat. I posted a funny video on TikTok, and then I woke up the next morning with a notification that I had 91,000 likes, and I had like 1,500 followers, and I was like, oh, shit, that's how you do it. But that was totally an accident. I didn't.
Yeah, but a good accident.
Yeah,
that's
but
an excellent accident.
I didn't do anything cool. It's not like I mean, that's the only video I ever had go viral. That was it.
Oh. Well, so, I'm sure you can recreate it. You still have the cat, right?
Oh, I still have the cat. I still have the cat.
Oh, yeah. You'll get it. You'll do it.
Shit all the time. I just don't record it because I'm used to it.
See, you got to get cameras on all the time.
I know.
You got to be recording all the time. You got to catch that stuff. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. We won't be back until after.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. We won't be back till after. So everybody have a great holiday. Enjoy your time with your family. Get away if you can, if you need to. I'm going to go to SeaWorld on Thanksgiving because I'm just going to need a little bit of time away from everybody. So I'm going to go on Thanksgiving.
George Mossey is on TikTok. It's George Mossey, and then the same as mine on Instagram, DeeDee Castile.
Right.
So
Right. And it'll be tagged in this video. So the exact same username for me and DeeDee tagged in this video. What's up, River? I didn't see you in the episode last night, and I'm gonna tag them in this video. Yeah, and that's Kira Sanders 7. Please follow us because we want to start doing all of the TikToks our lives at the same time on all the different channels. It'll just make it easier for everybody.
Yeah.
Have a good Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey, GeorgeMossey.com. Anywhere you get your podcast or stream music, type in The George Mossey Show. Thank you to my co-hosts. Follow them as well. Cara and DeeDee, they're tagged in this video. And we will be back Sunday night to talk to you guys about the OG 90 Day Fiancé. And have an excellent night, everybody.
bye.
Bye.